All right. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Audie, and I am your host, Audie. So after October, then we went into November, and November was pretty much switcheroo in terms of how I wanted to do things because with quarantine and being in a pandemic for such a long time in terms of not being able to travel, even though I was back and forth between different cities in Florida driving, I wanted to take a trip and I wanted to go above 10,000 feet in the air. So, being that I'm a big Duke basketball fan, and Duke was one of those schools that when I first imagined of coming to grad school and coming to this school in the U.S., that was my entire envision of being at D1 school, being able to enjoy the basketball, the football games that are competitive, and being around, athletes that potentially will go professional, and you may watch them on TV, continue to watch them on TV as they progress throughout the NBA or NFL or those other major sports that are available in the U.S. So, I wanted to go to that school, but unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. So, in terms of now that I wanted to take a trip, I didn't know where I wanted to go, but in terms of me trying to figure out what is it I wanted to do after I was done with these next 3 years in terms of life, I figured that I wanted to look at a different subject area in terms of my interest that I've found since I've been picking up books and been reading. So Duke was one of those schools that just kept popping up. So I figured, okay, well, I'm gonna just go ahead and take a trip to North Carolina and go visit the Duke campus and see if I can meet with a few faculty. And so got up one day and just decided to buy the ticket. And a friend of mine, we decided, okay, well, we're gonna make it happen because they was also interested in Duke as one of their favorite schools as well. So he's like, okay, well, it makes sense, so let's just go ahead and make it happen. And so went to Durham, North Carolina, and we went to visit the Duke campus. And so we was on the campus, and this campus, when I tell you this is one of the most gorgeous campus I've ever been on. Jesus wept. It was like stepping into a different country. I don't even know if that makes sense. I know it's still in the US, but in terms of each state, they have their own different feel. But stepping on the Duke campus, oh my gosh, it was like stepping into England or Europe, pretty much. It's like the entire structures of how their buildings are built. It made you feel as though you was on the living compounds of a monarch. And that's the way I felt in terms of the structures of the buildings and how they were done. And even when I was doing a video call with someone, they saw the structures of the houses behind me. They're just like, are you in London? I was like, no, I'm still in the US. It's like, are you sure? It's like, we don't see houses like that in the US. I'm like, yes, I'm right in North Carolina. I'm on the Duke campus. And it's like, oh, you are at Duke. And I'm like, yes. And seeing that was my first time, I was just blown away by the sheer amount of access that the students had, and the campus was so lively. Seeing that I went there on a Saturday, that students were just hustling and bustling throughout the day, sitting down having conversation. Everything, I feel as though most of the stuff that they require are on the campus, that they don't necessarily need to leave the campus. And the green spaces and the lawn that they had kids sitting down there having group sessions, studying, having conversations. I was like, whoa, did I get the wrong end of the stick when I decided to come up to grad school? And I felt that kind of way after I went on that campus. But, you never really do know what you do know. And what you don't know, you don't know. So if I did never know that was the kind of experience that you get at a university in the U.S., then, the university experience that I had at Florida Tech is the best possible experience that I had in terms of what I was exposed to. But other than that, whilst on that trip, I had some of the best chicken and waffles that I had since I started eating chicken and waffles. And when I tell you, it wasn't just the chicken or it wasn't just the waffle, it was the chicken and the waffle. Get it? It's not chicken or waffle, it's both of them come together, and those two separately, woo, Jesus, well, they would make you change your life in a heartbeat. And I tell you, the chicken was so succulent and so juicy. And it's like every bite you took, you like, this chicken needs to expand. It's like this needs to reproduce its own self so that I will never finish with this chicken. And I swear to you, if you go there on an empty stomach, you probably will spend all your life savings in this. You spend all your life savings on this chicken. And the waffle by itself was, oh my gosh. And they had the sauce to put on this waffle. Jesus, well. Anyways, enough about food. I can't keep teasing y'all about this wonderful meal that I had. Because until you try it, the place is called Dame's Chicken and Waffle. If you are ever in North Carolina, any of those southern states that has a Dame's Chicken and Waffle, go ahead, give them a try. I mean, you know, you don't blame me if it doesn't come up to your standard, but to me, oh Lord Jesus, you know, people say I'm a foodie, and you know I'll eat anything, but I won't eat anything. But then there are some things that you know that just stays on my mind, that I'm like, boy, I gotta do this again. So that was one of those places I really need to do again. And once the trip was done, you know, came back in terms of my norm. And then, you know, November is also known for Thanksgiving. So getting ready and preparation for it, you know, being around friends and family and being grateful for what it is that you have. And, you know, being grateful for friends, being grateful for family, being grateful for health, for mental health, for wellness, for the protection that was being restored upon you from the pandemic in terms of us surviving that long during it. And some of us did not have any major events in terms of death within our families happening. So that was something for me to be grateful for in terms of me having that aspect of my family being protected, and also having a niece being born during the entire pandemic. So I had a lot to be grateful for. You know, I lost a job. As you know, I lost a job, so that was kind of an iffy subject in terms of it. But in terms of what losing that job opened up for me, I also had to be grateful in terms of the experience that I had and what it is that they opened my eyes to, and the time that they allowed me to have for me to work on some things that I wanted to work on. And so, you know, it's never a good thing in terms of an end, but in terms of you being grateful and finding the silver lining in what is happening and what has been done, it was a wonderful time for me to just sit back and just take in what was and be grateful for what it is that I do have and not what I don't have. And so, just like to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the support. We are on day number 11, so November, and we are going to hit December, and then we are going to return to our regular schedule of once a week sessions with Tuesdays with Audie. And so with that said, peace, love, and enjoyment. Deuces, I'm outie. Subscribe. Smash the button, the like one. And you know, guys, continue and sharing your comments and your support and reaching out to me and let me know what it is that you enjoy or what you don't enjoy, so that I can continue to grow and so that I can continue to produce value that you guys find suitable and value for you. So with that said, I'm outie.